Okay, we're going to go ahead and assemble the HAOQI Cheetah. And the very first thing we want to do is go ahead and cut the straps loose, open up the top of the box. Let's take a look inside and see if there's anything that is running loose in there that we could take out. Boxes of accessories, that type of thing. Next up, we're going to go ahead and remove the bike from the box. Now this is where a helper would come in real handy. You can just go ahead and lift it straight up and set it out of there. And this is what you should end up with once you get it out. Next, we're going to take some side cutters and remove the front tire from being strapped to the frame. Now let's take a look in the accessory box. We've got some tools that we're going to use for assembling this. We've got the charger, we've got the front headlight, we have the pedals, the front axle is in here. There is also a manual in here that can help you along as well. So let's get this stuff out, get it kind of organized. Now let's see if we can make this thing start looking like a bicycle. So we're going to unwrap the handlebars and the front stem area. And then we're going to loosen up on that stem. We're going to swing it around. It's for shipping purposes, they've got it pointed backwards. So we're going to point it back to the front and we're going to go ahead and snug it down pretty tight, but we're not going to crank it down too hard because we're going to want to make final adjustments on that a little bit later. Now let's go ahead and put the handlebars on. Remember, the throttle and the gear shift is going to be on your right hand side. Make sure you get it oriented correctly. And when you start to put the cap on that attaches the handlebars, start tightening that down in a crisscross pattern. You go from the top right to the bottom left and the top left to the bottom right, and just do a crisscross pattern like that so that everything snugs down evenly. Don't make it too tight just yet because you're going to want to make some final adjustments on it. Now we can start to unwrap the front forks, and if you'll take note, I'm only unwrapping a little bit of this at a time, just what's needed. While we're working around on this, I don't want to take any chances of putting any scratches on here anywhere. So I won't unwrap everything at once and then just go at it. I'll just unwrap a little bit at a time what's needed. That'll keep this thing looking in pristine shape when it's all said and done. We are also going to go ahead and cut loose anything on the front wheel that's still attached. The fender may be taped on there. You may have some axle protectors on there. Those will all get removed. And any zip ties that are left, take them off of the front wheel. Be very careful with that disc brake because you don't want to bend it. You don't want to lay it down on anything. So just be careful with it. Now we're going to take the front axle and we're going to remove the nut on it and insert it into the front wheel. Take note that the quick release lever is on the disc brake side and that your two springs are facing with the cones in. And you go ahead and insert that in and just put the nut on very loosely for now. Next, we're going to go ahead and put on the front tire. So we're going to clear anything that's on the kickstand off of it. And then we're going to make sure that there's a little plastic piece inserted into the disc brakes. Remove that. And then there's a plastic part on the bottom of the forks that's basically just there for shipping. You're going to remove that. If you can, have somebody there lift up the front end of the bike, and you're going to place the bike with the disc going in between the pads and lining up the axle to the dropout slots and let it drop right in. Then you're going to go ahead and snug that up a little bit and then push the lever to tighten it all down. Well, we've been waiting to see what this thing is going to look like, and now's the time we can actually get a little better look at it. So let's go ahead and uncover the rest of the bike. Let's take all the padding off, all the zip ties, get everything taken off of there. If you're working outside and you're in a windy day, make sure you get all that styrofoam picked up before it blows around too much or you'll have a real mess to clean up. But go ahead and get everything uncovered and let's take a look and see what we got now. Now we're starting to look like a bike. So not a whole lot left to go now. We're going to go ahead and put the pedals on. What you want to remember is your left-hand side has the opposite threads. And You know, everybody says lefty loosey, righty tighty. Well, it's just the opposite on that. So we're going to say if you take the top of the pedal and turn it towards the front of the bike, that works on both sides of them. Just try and remember that and you'll be okay with it. But we're going to go ahead and thread our pedals on. Only a few things left now. We're going to go ahead and attach the front light and the front fender. You're going to take the bolt out of the front fork, the cross brace. You're going to put it through the light, through a washer, through the light, through the fender bracket, through the fork, and then through the rear of the fender bracket, and then put the washer and the lock nut on. Go ahead and tighten those up. Next, we're going to go ahead and unwrap. If you look right below the handlebars, you'll see there's a plug right there, and that's going to be for your headlight. Unwrap a little bit of that, go ahead and plug it in, make sure that your handlebars swing freely all the way through, and we're almost ready to ride. So you have now basically got everything assembled, but you're not ready to ride quite yet. You see, now you're going to go back and you're going to check over everything that you've went ahead and put on, make sure that you get everything tightened down. You're going to set on it, make sure that your seat is tight and it's straight and it's the height you want. You're going to make sure that your handlebars are exactly where you want them. Don't forget, tighten that stem down once you get that taken care of. You're going to make adjustments to your brake levers and your shift, everything on there, the bell. Get everything adjusted up. Double check your front wheel. And while you're at it, check all the bolts that you see from the factory. You might have some film to peel off of the brake levers, the light, the display. Now you're ready to ride. And boy, I tell you, isn't she a beauty? Well, I would like to thank everybody for looking this over. And now you're ready to ride. Get out there, have some fun on this thing, because it sure is a blast to ride. Hey, I hope you really like this, and stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, I'm out.